Hi everyone, how are we all? Welcome to My Way Tarot. This is going to be a general love reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus sign for the second week of October 2021. This read, even though it's labelled for the second week of October, it can be a timeless read, so it's whenever you come across this reading, okay guys? Just to let you know as well, I am available on TikTok if you're interested. The account that I have over there is called My Way Tarot 444, and I have the same profile picture that I use for this YouTube channel over there as well. But just as a PSA, please be careful. There are people out there trying to impersonate me with my account, etc., and give off personal readings or pretend personal readings. Obviously, I would not contact you to ask if you would like a personal reading, so just be careful guys, because I'm actually currently not doing personals for right now, and also I wouldn't contact you via WhatsApp etc asking if you would like a read and etc. I don't feel like that anyone really in the kind of tarot community would actually do that, so obviously just be careful, okay guys? So if the reading resonates for you, then that's awesome, or if parts of the message resonate, that's cool as well. I could be reading for yourself or for your love interest, so kind of just take what you feel resonates and leave the rest, okay? So if you do enjoy the reading, please like, share and subscribe, leave us a comment. I greatly appreciate it, and I really do enjoy reading those. And yeah, hit the notification bell as well so you guys get an alert as to when I next post a video for you all, okay? So let's look into Aquarius, second week of October, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So please check out the other videos for your placements so that you get a fuller, more rounded picture of the week for you, okay? So let's see what we got for Aquarius. Obviously you guys can leave a timestamp, so if you'd like to miss the intro or fast forward, not a problem, but I feel like I have to kind of let you guys know of everything, alright? So what have we got for Aquarius, please? Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Angels of Love and Light. He's provided us with clear, concise messages today for Aquarius. That look like the High Priestess in reverse, so maybe something's going to be revealed to either you or your love interest soon. Ooh. Three of Wands in reverse. 10 of Cups sideways. Justice sideways. 10 of Swords sideways. 3 of Pentacles in reverse, and one more for Aquarius. 4 of Wands, wow. Bottom of the deck we have the 8 of Pentacles. The Fool in reverse and the Moon in reverse. Okay, so we have Libran energy here with the Justice card on the table. We have Aries energy later on and Pisces energy here as well. Okay. We also have lots of fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces for water signs. And we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here with the 10 of Swords as well. So air signs. So obviously you or your person could have any of those placements in their chart. So what I'm getting here predominantly is that there is some major block either for you or your person as of right now, and a relationship can't necessarily move on forward yet. I feel like somebody's waiting for some particular results in relation to their stability, so that they can actually feel like they can move on, from something that's been incredibly difficult. I'm getting that either you or your person may potentially be going through a karmic ending of sorts, and something that hasn't necessarily worked out, and potentially may have felt like they were taken advantage of in relation to a financial situation or a home or a work situation, and so therefore they're not able to move on forward. to give you a particular love offer, to give you the stability that you have been wanting. And they live at a distance from you, but they want to be able to come closer and close the gap between you. I'm also getting that with these two tens here on the table, it's very significant that someone's trying to close out a cycle that's been incredibly painful. Incredibly painful. They've been stabbed in the back by someone, and they feel that potentially they may be leaving a toxic relationship or a very difficult situation that they've been in, and all they want is their happiness. And predominantly they may have thought that if they were in a third party situation or in another commitment of sorts, potentially they may have been sold some sort of dream that what they were getting themselves into was going to be beautiful, it was going to work out, there was going to be sunshine and rainbows, and it didn't necessarily turn out that way. And someone's getting some sort of like eye-opener with realization that they feel like they've been sold something, and this has been very unjust, and they feel very feel betrayed by it, but also feel just incredibly down. They feel hard done by, I'm getting. And potentially this other relationship or situationship, if they have been in a third party, there's just been loads of arguments and stress and blaming each other and a lot of resentment that has built up in the connection. And potentially there may have been some sort of dishonesty between the two of them, and somebody may have not necessarily taken responsibility for a particular connection, and maybe they've been contemplating potentially for quite some time, you know, why are we even in this relationship in the first place? How did this even happen? How did we even get here? I'm getting there's no growth and there's no commitment in this other situation with these double threes here, 3-3, so they could be seeing those numbers. No growth, no commitment. How did we get here? And there's no effort in this other relationship to make it work. Potentially, there's major legal implications here with the Justice card, and someone is feeling incredibly frustrated in a situation that it hasn't necessarily worked out, and they may have lost out on a lot of money. A lot of money. Potentially they may be in debt and trying to focus on their career right now to build up on their finances so they can get to a place where they feel stable in themselves. And predominantly if this is to relating to a third party situation, so that they can close off that particular cycle successfully, and then most likely come forward towards you with a deeper commitment. But this person, as of right now, has most likely been taken advantage of, and they're not available right now. And if anything was to try to happen right now, it would just be all really bad timing. And potentially they would not be able to commit towards you because they're trying to figure out something else. But they realise that they most likely invested in another situation and it didn't work. And potentially if this person was at one point, I'm getting kind of like, if they had to choose between you and someone else and they chose this other situation, they know that they blew their chance with you. But they feel trapped in this other situation and they can't break free of it. And the secret's out here with the moon in reverse. Something has been exposed, and predominantly they will let you know eventually that they will be getting free from this other situation, and they will contact you and travel to see you. But they've been very much up in their head about it for quite some time because they're just trying to gain their stability. They're trying to gain a long-term situation. They're trying to get themselves together again. so that they can leave this Ten of Swords and go to the Ten of Cups properly with the Ten of Pentacles, with the Four of Wands, with things working out in their favour, and that's the truth. And that's the truth here. And they're waiting for a particular breakthrough. So there's no movement in your situation or your connection as of right now, because they feel like they have other priorities and they're consumed by something else right now. And their priority is to make sure that they close off something else before coming towards you. Regardless of how strongly they feel about you, you are kind of there on their mind. You know, there's no doubt about it. But something else is overwhelming them right now. This other situation is really playing on their mind. Plaguing their mind, I'm getting. Plaguing. Like a plague. And they want to come forward towards you and eventually express where they feel they are with you in relation to your connection, and they want to tell you that they've been frustrated in another situation, and most likely, you know, they're hoping that for any mistreatment that they've gone through in another situation, that they're going to receive their comeuppance for it. Like, not their comeuppance, they're going to, like, the person they're dealing with is going to receive their comeuppance, so that they can get to a point where they've got their fairness and they can have everything balanced out for themselves, so that when they move on forward, they've got nothing left kind of dwindling in the background that's going to be nagging at them, that they need to finish off. So what I feel are called to do is I'm going to clarify this justice here. But this person, you know, they want to have a firm foundation, but they haven't got it as of right now. And they're really struggling. And most likely they're having this realization that this other relationship was just awful, I'm getting. They may have become very angry and may not be someone that you kind of want to be around at the moment. Very tired, very weary, very frustrated. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we all want to be able to have that stability and, you know, feel emotionally fulfilled in our lives, and not just necessarily in love, but on every aspect, like have a healthy work-life balance and etc. And this person thought that they were getting that in this other situation, and it turns out that it wasn't that whatsoever. But they absolutely, like, they've kept it to themselves, that they have this desire for you, and they have this desire for the stability to come forward towards you and be with you. But they feel restricted and, like, held back in this other situation. And they're having difficulty with letting go of this as of right now. Not necessarily, like, emotionally. I feel like they've already checked out in relation to that. But the legalities of it, the financial aspect of it, and potentially holding on to, you know, the bitterness of it all. Potentially this process has been going on for quite some time, you know. Why is justice here for Aquarius? Why is this block here for justice? What's this about? Yeah, look at that, with this particular confusion here with the Seven of Cups and Judgment in reverse. Yeah, they're really stressing about the whole thing. Really stressed. Potentially they're fearful that the Judgment is not going to go in their favour for one reason or another. They feel like something's not going to work out for them. And potentially they may lose out a lot financially. But they may also be with someone who's been very judgmental about them. They're wanting to have a fresh start, and they're really overthinking about the whole thing. And they're realising that they have to get out of that particular situation, because they don't want to consistently feel like, well, if I stay stuck in this other situation, like, what if? You know, they keep on going, well, what if if I don't do this, then what if? And then if they've got you on their mind in the background, they're like, well, what if I could potentially have this and this with my person? And things work out for us and be in our favour. So they're getting this like really strong feeling like, I have to do this. I can't not do this. Yeah, they're wanting to get stability. They're feeling very insecure in themselves right now. Potentially they've been dealing with a long-term, they see you as a long-term partner, and they've been dealing with a codependent karmic partner here, who they may have children with, and it failed. Maybe they have 2 children, and now that's coming to an end, that's coming to a close. There'll be a breakthrough, and someone's going to feel out of their head, like they're not going to be trapped in their head anymore in this other particular situation, I'm getting. But they definitely see something long term with you, and they're trying to get their kind of self-worth up, as it were, so that eventually they feel like, I am worthy of having something stable, I am worthy of having something long term, I'm worthy of having the love of my life, I'm worthy of having what I want. What else for justice here? Yeah, potentially here with the King of Wands, they may have been dealing with someone who was unfaithful to them. Maybe abusing their power over them in a particular way. Maybe a bit of a bully. Using intimidation, I'm getting, potentially, and fear to hold someone else back. Maybe saying, oh, well, we're going to use our lawyers and we're going to take you all for everything that you've got and you're not going to have anything left, And if they could take the clothes off their person's back, then they would do. Yeah. 8 of Swords in reverse. They're going to release themselves from this other situation because it's incredibly unhealthy. They're trying to get to a place where eventually they don't have to feel so fearful and maybe like anxious about this whole situation. Yeah, they want to just want to end the relationship if it's pertaining to a third party, because there's sneakiness. Look, we're going to take you for all that you've got. I'm going to make sure that things don't necessarily work in your favour, so I'm going to take you for all that you've got. Yeah, I'm going to give all these, kind of make it so difficult for you, so that you have to carry all of these particular burdens, and I know that you don't want a commitment with me anymore and potentially going through maybe even a divorce, but I'm going to keep you in fear so that you can't move on forward and keep you trapped in your head so you feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And all they want to do, your person, is they want to come forward towards you to let you know what it is that they've genuinely been through has been incredibly difficult, incredibly heartbreaking, I'm getting. And they're going through a major separation from this person. And potentially they may not necessarily feel like they're in a place to come forward towards you because they're just too hurt. They're going to be struggling from this particular breakup. And they're going to be struggling to come to the terms with this ending of this situation. They know that for the right reason it's important to kind of let go of it and to move on forward. But when you've invested so much of your time, your energy, your emotions, your money, all of that into something that you really thought was going to be the be-all and the end-all, and it doesn't turn out that way, it's something that really does tear you down. It really does break you, and you feel like, well, how am I deserving of this? I wanted just to do the right thing, and everyone has those intentions predominantly. I mean, most people do. To do the right thing. But your person may feel like a shell of themselves from going through so much. And they may have been in denial about this particular relationship for a very long time. They thought that they were in the place where they wanted to be, but then obviously something happened in their life where they've had the realization that actually it's not necessarily that it was all a lie, but they've had a lot of difficulty with it all, and they've been very much up in their head about the whole thing. And all they've wanted was stability in every aspect. I mean, who doesn't? What else can we get for justice? It's too many. But yeah, they want to have a new beginning. They will eventually get their investment. Yeah, but after they didn't receive their investment, yeah, they may have dealt with something very stingy from this other person who wasn't willing to give them anything. Predominantly, they may lose out on quite a bit of finances. And this is incredibly heartbreaking. Look, this is what I've just been saying here with the Three of Swords. This is what I've just been saying. They may not be able to communicate to you right now that what's been going on. What's going on here with the Justice? What else for Justice? Look, they're needing to heal themselves because they made a long-term investment and it didn't necessarily work out. Potentially they could have been dealing with someone who was just very overpowering, manipulative. Maybe your person felt like they had to... They gave over their power to this person in one way or another. And they just basically feel like a shell of themselves. And they predominantly, they may have repressed how they felt in this other relationship for quite some time because of the investment, like just wanting an easier life. And they're probably looking back on their life and they're comparing, you know, everything, and they're like, well, how did I even get here? And now they're getting to this point where they have to take a step back to rest, to recuperate, retreat from this other situation, and eventually I'm getting the sense they may even get counselling, go and get some sort of additional help, because they'll need it. They'll need it. Yeah, they're realising that they want happiness. They're having this epiphany that they have to eventually break out of that if they want to go after love rather than being in something that wasn't serving them anymore here with the Two of Cups. Where there's mutual love and respect and partnership. Yeah, because this felt incredibly difficult. This burden on their back. Feeling like left out of the cold, feeling abandoned. They're having to heal themselves. They most likely carried the brunt of the connection for quite some time and did everything, and they may have been dealing with someone who's incredibly selfish. But another 10, another completion. This will all end up very soon. Yeah, and it will be balanced out and they will leave a toxic situation. Look at that. And they're going to have a lawyer. There's this King of Swords, like there's going to be a lawyer probably getting involved to help them. And they're being guided that they need to finish off a situation, gain their freedom, heal themselves, and just close this all out. So that eventually they can heal, gain closure from it all. And eventually get to the point where they feel emotionally available to open themselves up again for love. And take a chance on love again. But this person has really been through it. Could be dealing with a Capricorn or a Sagittarius. Maybe even a Gemini. But they're going through a major separation. They potentially may have been unrequited love or an affair of sorts, potentially. That could have been something that they were dealing with. They weren't giving to a particular connection. It was very selfish. Lots of like hot and cold type of behaviour. But they feel very insecure about themselves. Like they couldn't... I'm getting this sense that your person may have felt like they can't even trust themselves anymore, because they're like, well, maybe I should just give up on the whole thing, give up on the idea of going after love, and, you know, what's love got to do with it is coming through. Well, this obviously could be yourself or your person, however you take this, how it resonates. I'll take one more for justice. Yeah, they felt like a victim. Hangman, they felt like they were stuck. Potentially they're fearful. They're fearful that if they were to finish off this other situation and become alone again, you know, they're going to have to start over. They're fearful of that. Could be dealing with a Pisces. Yeah, because they don't want to be tricked by anyone again. They're fearful because they feel like they're just going to be tricked on. Like other people are just going to be, you know, manipulating them, and that they're not going to be able to trust the other person, and they're going to be betrayed by them, and that, you know, they don't even know who they can trust. Can they even trust? They can't even feel like they can't trust other people. They feel like they can't trust themselves. You know, it's all too much. They feel like it's all too much. They don't want to play silly little games. They just feel like they want to have their peace. Yeah, they don't want to be... Look, they feel like they can't trust themselves and other people, especially when it comes to love here with the Knight of Cups in reverse. They can't trust it. Am I going to be cheated on? Are people just going to be out to try to get me? Like, are they going to be calculating and cruel and, you know, try and steal my money and, you know, not bother to care for me? I'm getting. And your person may end up holding a grudge to these other people because they've been so hurt, and so they keep their feelings close to their chest and then just focus on working on their finances. But eventually it's got to get to a point where they'll need to kind of let their guards down, but for the time being that may not necessarily be the case. I'm just going to check on these these two tens here, these blocks. What's these two blocks about here? What's this two tens, 10 of Cups and the 10 of Swords about for Aquarius? Yeah. Ace of Swords in reverse. And then we have the 5 of Wands kind of sideways with the Strength. We could be dealing with a Leo, a fire sign, or an air sign. Bottom of the deck with the Knight of Cups again. Look. With the 8 of Cups, yeah. Your person is feeling fearful. And they're up in their head and they just can't take it anymore. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be deceived. They potentially may have not expressed their feelings to this other person, to this other situation about how unhappy they were for quite some time, because they didn't feel like they had the courage to do so, and potentially they may have tolerated, you know, some really poor behaviour from this bad treatment from this other person. And they're having this realisation that they made the wrong decision by being in this other situation. And predominantly for some time, until they gather their strength back, they're not going to be in the right mindset to be able to date. It might take some time. They eventually will get to a point where they'll gather their strength and they'll get through the obstacles. They will. and they'll eventually open up their heart. But for the time being, they may feel like they can't even trust their own judgment, like they chose a wrong partner. And potentially they may feel like really stuck, like, or maybe this is something I deserve, I don't deserve better. You know, maybe this is all I'm meant to just go through something awful like this. And I don't feel that's not true. I feel like this person, your person, is really good, is a good person. And they've done what they've done in the best of intentions to be able to do what they thought was right previously, and one thing led to another, and I just feel like this person just lost more and more of themselves. But they are so ready to emotionally check out. Potentially this person that they've been dealing with may have abandoned them, or they may have abandonment issues, and that could be stemming something from this whole thing. Like, this could be all triggering the fact that they had abandonment issues potentially, or like mummy daddy issues, and they're realizing that the only way that they can move on is to emotionally check out, become stronger, and to then that in turn have some sort of stability and celebration eventually. So they may need to be around friends who are going to be able to help them, but they will eventually be able to heal after all the pain that they've gone through. But this person is just feeling incredibly stuck and feeling relatively torn, which is really quite sad. Yeah, they feel really stuck. Here, look, I just broke up the deck and we've got the Two of Swords in reverse. They've been in turmoil for so long, and they'll eventually see the truth after they've moved on forward out of this difficult situation. So let's look at the romance angels. I mean, I'm really not feeling very much romance here. Obviously, like, I feel this is incredibly frustrating because, like, I feel like I'm picking up on more about your person and their situation rather than how they necessarily feel about you. And this can be, you know, difficult, obviously, unless if that's the type of reading that you're wanting. But this seems to be like digging in with your person. Look at that. All the cards wanted to drop out. Stay optimistic about your love life. Yeah, so stay optimistic that things can eventually change around. You will have the heart-to-heart conversation, and they will honestly discuss their feelings with you and make the effort to come towards you. Great love is worth taking the steps you are guided to take. But this person's really been through it. They may have not allowed them, they may feel like, why should I allow myself to have a fresh start with this really beautiful person being you? But they need to heal what they need to heal first. They may recognise that you have a spiritual connection, but they're needing to love themselves first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. To stay positive that everything will kind of turn out eventually. They need to heal. If they've got family with this other person, they need to heal that. Look at that. Children. Can't make it up, guys. They're freeing themselves from the other situation because it's not serving them anymore. Releasing the ex. Look at that. I mean, how powerful. Lastly, what would they like to say to you, or what would you like to say to them? But potentially for quite some time, they have felt really fearful about expressing their feelings. And if there's been any negativity, or there most likely has been quite a lot of negativity, any little thing that has not been quite right for them, they feel like they had to hold themselves back, like they couldn't speak up. Maybe they were fearful that if they were to be honest, that something, you know, awful would happen. day, don't trust this other person. What do they want to say to you? What do they want to say to you, Aquarius? Oof, too many, wow. Let's try again. I regret my past mistakes and wish I can have another chance with you. I wish I could have loved you the way you deserve to be loved. I'm still healing. One more. You deserve much more than what I could give at the time. Look, I wish I could love you the way you deserve to be loved, and I wish I could give you more at the time. I miss you more now that we are apart. I still feel your presence, your energy around me. Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's the end of the reading. I hope that you have enjoyed, and I hope that it helped you and you got some sort of clarity about your person's kind of situation. If you did enjoy, please like, share and subscribe, leave us a comment, I greatly appreciate it, and hit the notification bell so you guys get an alert as to when I will be posting the next available video. If you are interested in TikTok, then I am over there with My Way Tarot 444 with shorter love readings available for you all. Okay, so thank you so much for being here, thank you so much for watching, and God bless. Take care. Bye for now.